tornado on the ground here south of Lincoln, Kansas. If you are on Lincoln, Kansas, or on Highway 14, you need to take shelter immediately. It is rapidly moving just east of us.
Hello, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Vivian Brown.
And I'm Maria LaRosa. And can you believe, as we get ready for the weekend, we're talking about a triple threat.
Yeah, we're talking about the threat of severe weather, winter weather, and tropical weather. So let's give you the lowdown on all three of these, starting with the tropics.
All right, checking in on this Invest 90L winds at 45 miles per hour, but you may be asking, why is it not official yet? Well, the National Hurricane Center is saying 80% chance of further development. However, an official naming may still be several hours away. So we're going to keep tabs on that. More on that in just a few minutes.
All right, but right now, let's go out to the lab to talk more about storms inland. And let's go to Carl Parker with more. Carl.
Viv, severe weather now breaking out over a very large area from Iowa all the way down into Texas and up into Colorado as well. And here's a look at what's triggering all of this. You've got a cold front which now extends down through Kansas and into parts of Colorado. Along that boundary, storms are firing. There's also low pressure now right around the Oklahoma Panhandle and a big complex of storms that's coming out and ahead of that. That'll be going for some time tonight, we think. And primarily with that, we're going to see a damaging wind threat along with very heavy rain. And there is a warning now to tell you about. This warning is west of Wichita Falls. That's a severe thunderstorm warning for Baylor, Wichita, Wilbarger counties going until 3:45. The movement here is northeast to 25, and the concern is 60-mile-per-hour wind along with quarter-size hail. We've got a live picture from Seymour, which is right there, showing you this storm as a chaser is on this right now. Again, the main threat with this storm is going to be damaging wind. Looks like we're looking at a shelf cloud off to the left there. You can see how dark it gets underneath of that. That's that hail core and heavy rain as well. Very strong wind right underneath that core. Looks like he's off to the south and moving towards the east and looking towards the north there. And that storm is going to again continue to lift north and east. Coming up here in just a few minutes, I want to take you well off to the north and west, show you there are a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. One is now right along 25 and near Colorado Springs. The threat with these storms is going to be very large hail. That's the case here as well. There was a tornado warning on that cell. Still seeing some rotation, but right now just mainly a hail threat. And then you've got a line of storms along the front. There was briefly a tornado warning and a funnel cloud spotted well north and west of Wichita. No warning right now. And now a couple of warnings in southeastern Iowa. One of them now southwest of Iowa City. That's Keokuk County going until 3:45. Concern there is 60-mile-per-hour wind and 1-inch hail. And then same story for Des Moines County, Henry, and Lee counties. That's north and west of Burlington. So a lot of areas looking at potential severe weather today from the western lakes all the way down through Texas. Then tomorrow we see severe weather in a more confined area in the central and southern plains. But we're going to see a stronger upper system coming out. And as a result, we could see some tornadoes tomorrow. Torcon index of 5 in northwest Texas and western Oklahoma. And then on Saturday, we're thinking it's going to be an even bigger day for severe weather. Very strong upper low. Now centered around Nevada, and California is going to be coming out on Saturday. There's going to be a lot of buoyant energy in the atmosphere, so thunderstorms firing up and very strong winds in the mid levels of the atmosphere coming out of the southwest, while winds come out of the southeast in the low levels. So a lot of turning of the wind with height, and that's going to mean possibly long track tornadoes on Saturday. Maria, Viv, back to you.
All right, storms in the heart of the country again today, but actually yesterday, the hardest hit area, Oklahoma City, where at least 12 people were hurt, 2 critically after an apparent tornado struck an RV park.
And one woman drowned at a storm shelter after record-setting rain. NBC's Jay Gray is in Oklahoma City. And Jay, as you mentioned, it's tough to focus on cleanup when we know we have more storms coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the case right now, Maria, Vivian. Good to talk to you. And about that 42-year-old, did all the right things, got into the underground shelter, just didn't have it sealed off, apparently, and drowned. I've been covering these a long time. I've never heard of anything like that. Just harrowing to think about what happened there. Take a look behind me. Also pretty scary to think about being in this motel when this storm hit. There were a lot of people inside. You can see it was ripped and shredded by the wind. They all rushed out. Somehow, miraculously, everybody survived here. Everybody was safe. As you move across the debris field here and over to the RV park, that's where 12 people were injured, 2 of them critically. And you can see there are a lot of people that have been going through the debris here. And for the last, I'd say 20, 30 minutes, we've been watching them try and pull this truck out of the mud. It is so thick, it is so deep here. The dark red clay that's a part of the Oklahoma landscape here just has a grip on it and they can't get it out. They're working against the clock and the clouds, obviously, as they roll in here. Everyone who's cleaning up, everyone who's working here, talking about the fact that, hey, we hear more is on the way. They're right. More on the way, not only today, but as you ladies have been talking about through the weekend here, it's going to be a tough go for a long time. Viv, Maria, back to you.
All right, thanks very much. Jay Gray reporting, of course, in the Oklahoma City area.
And so while we have that going on, we have a lot of attention on the tropics and what's looking like a very early start to the tropical season. I want to bring in Brian Norcross because, Brian, we're still calling it an invest, but it's still producing coastal impacts as we speak.
It is. It's very gusty along the coast, although that's not all related to the low pressure system that is the invest. I'm going to show you that in just a second. A lot of different angles to look at this, including this subtropical versus tropical question, and we'll get into it right now. First of all, look at what we have here with this invest. We have 45-mile-an-hour winds. Now, you might say, well, that's tropical storm force, but they're not organized with the low pressure system. That's why the National Hurricane Center is not calling it Ana yet. And 1,004 millibars, so the pressure is plenty low. But when we go to the close-up high-resolution satellite, you can see what's going on. There's the circulation right there. First of all, it's kind of broad. There's a thunderstorm related to the circulation. There's kind of one right there as well, but then you have these other thunderstorms out here and another cluster over there. Notice these are moving this way and those are moving that way. They are not related to the circulation. They're left over from the kind of wintertime kind of weather pattern that kicked this whole thing off in the first place. So Hurricane Center is looking for thunderstorms related to the circulation to build more. So here's where we were yesterday. Here's Wednesday, yesterday at this time. We had this invest here, but we still had this leftover frontal system. And tropical systems and even subtropical systems really want to get away from fronts. They start sometimes related to fronts, but they want to get away from them. So as we've gone through the last day, this thing has turned into this fairly consolidated low pressure system, but still there are fronts and leftovers of that old system in the area. So that's one reason that it's still not quite consolidated into something that can be named. Now there's another thing going on related to subtropical and tropical, and we can look at that based on the temperature at the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So here, look at these temperatures. We don't normally look at this, so this takes a little kind of learning here. The purples are warm, the darker reds are cool, and then the blues are cold. So notice there's a cool pocket right there over top of the system. Just got this invest there, and let's put a circle around it. Now watch this today. Now watch what happens to the temperatures in the mid-level of the atmosphere. Notice they stay kind of cold and actually maybe get even a little colder tomorrow because there's a pocket of cold air coming along. Well, that's not conducive to it ever becoming tropical. Tropical, we would see warm temperatures. Those are tropical temperatures over there. So all that's related to the why this is still evolving. Lots more to talk about. I'll be back at 15. I'll see you then. See ya. Stay tuned.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, except for a few afternoon clouds, mainly sunny. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Friday night, clear skies. Low 70. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Oh, this audit will take days. What a headache.
Actually, I don't have a headache anymore. Excedrin really does work fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin.
Wow, that was fast.
I've struggled with my weight ever since my first son was born. It held me back from life because you feel like you want to hide. My weight held me back from being confident, from, lots of things. It was hard. It's great that there is finally something out there now that works. Nutrisystem.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus kit. Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist, or your money back, guaranteed.
The results are exciting. I've lost 40 pounds with Nutrisystem.
Because of it, I feel so proud and so confident in myself. I feel like I could do anything. I lost 27 pounds with Nutrisystem, and I feel incredible.
Nutrisystem works. You don't have to count, measure, or weigh anything.
It's a simple plan that puts your body to work burning excess weight with the right balance of proteins, good carbs, and fats to help stabilize blood sugar and fight hunger.
I recommend Nutrisystem because I know it works. It just teaches you how to eat.
Since losing the weight on Nutrisystem, I definitely feel sexy. Now I look in the mirror and I love what I see.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of specially selected meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes to rev your metabolism, free. And 1 week of Craving Crusher shakes to crush those cravings, free. Plus, call or click to order today and get free FedEx shipping.
I lost 30 pounds with Nutrisystem, and I have a ton more energy now. That was me before, and this is me now. I'm Lori, and I lost 40 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Nutrisystem has helped millions of people lose weight, and now you can too. You'll lose 5 pounds your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist, or your money back, guaranteed.
Nutrisystem worked for me, and I know it's going to work for you too.
Call 888-886-SIZE right now and get Fast 5 Plus with shakes free.
Hey everybody, I'm Julianne Hough. When your face is broken out and nothing you try is working, you feel out of control. I know I did. But now, there's an exciting breakthrough from America's #1 acne brand. It's called Proactiv Plus. What does the plus mean? It means more. More medicine that now works even faster, and more skin-loving ingredients to visibly address dark marks, oily shine, redness, and enlarged pores, giving you skin that's not only clear, but bright, beautiful, and younger looking too.
Introducing Proactiv Plus, our breakthrough combination of smarter acne medicine plus ultra-perfecting skincare. The results will amaze you.
The results were crazy incredible. My skin was getting brighter, my breakouts are clearing up. I don't think my skin has ever looked this good.
It's the best Proactiv ever, and the buzz is off the charts.
I love Proactiv Plus. My pores look smaller now, way smaller, and my skin feels velvety, smooth, and moisturized.
Proactiv Plus gives you one solution, so many amazing results. Acne medicine and skincare this good could cost over $200. But call now and get Proactiv Plus not for $200, not $100, but for the special introductory price of just $19.95. And if you order now, you get free shipping.
You deserve to feel confident with skin that's more beautiful than you ever dreamed possible. And now you can with Proactiv Plus.
Act fast and call 1-800-382-0753 to receive a deluxe trio. They're the doctor's special extras for gorgeous skin. Yours free. Imagine all this, a $105 value for the limited introductory price of just $19.95.
Proactiv Plus really is awesome. It really does work.
Guaranteed to give you clear, flawless-looking skin or your money back. Call 1-800-382-0753 now.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Weather Channel as we continue to follow the threat of more severe weather. We're watching Central Texas, Central Oklahoma right now. Severe thunderstorm warnings are popping up across this region. So let's bring in storm chaser David Drummond.
And David, we understand that you're near Seymour, Texas. It's about an hour's drive from Wichita Falls off to the west. And your live picture right now, it's pretty ominous. So what are you seeing? What are you experiencing right now?
Well, you're correct on the location. This outflow has been coming out of the storm, has been producing some pretty ominous wall clouds. not wall clouds, but shelf clouds coming out that look pretty scary. A lot of high wind has been coming with it, and, of course, the torrential rains and a little bit of hail up to about an inch.
Yeah, it looks like you're looking pretty much from a far distance, which is good, David, because we certainly want you to stay safe. But how long do you think that you're going to stay there? Because it does look as though this cloud is becoming very mature, and it could really dump some locally heavy rains and those large hailstones. And again, we cannot rule out tornadic activity in this area.
Oh, that's certain. I'm going to be staying with it on through the evening into the night if necessary. There's been plenty of flooding, as you know. And this is just exasperating the situation and making it worse. It doesn't take much at this point to get a lot more flooding on top of it.
And you have a plan for today. You're in this area. What about tomorrow and the next few days? We know this is not going to be the end of it once this moves through.
Oh, certainly. The next couple of days are really looking ominous, as I'm sure y'all are aware. And I'm certainly going to be out for both days. I'll have to target each day as it goes and see, what looks like the best spot to be.
And it does appear as though you're in a very rural area, which is good. I mean, do you see, are there any buildings or anything like that that's, nearby that could be damaged?
Well, of course, we've got Wichita Falls to the northeast, as you mentioned. And then Archer City east of here, it's a smaller town. There's a lot of smaller towns. And the US 287 is a very busy truck route as well, so people along there are going to get affected by this.
And I don't know if it's our monitors, but we're kind of seeing that sort of teal color that you may see with some of the hail producers. Is that what you are seeing as well?
That's correct. When this core gets to me here in a little bit, which I'm hoping to move before it does, but I saw up to about an inch in it so far, but there's been a lot of high wind, about 50 miles per hour is what I was experiencing.
Yeah, we've been watching our hail tracker, and we've had reports of hailstones up to about golf ball size hailstones. Have you experienced any of that?
Not quite that big. About an inch was as big as I got into.
Okay, about the size of a quarter per se.
And what is the chatter amongst the other spotters that might be in the area?
Well, I've noted quite a few storm chasers out here. We're obviously concerned about the warm sector just south of all this cold pool here. Developing some individual supercells, so we're going to be watching for that as well.
Okay, David Drummond, we appreciate your time and obviously our eyes and ears on the ground. And he happens to be just to the south of where that leading edge of that severe thunderstorm is, and he's been watching the threat for hail. So we want him to be safe. We want him to, make a move if he needs to get out of the way.
Of course, we are here watching the radars for you as well, and we will be the first to let you know if we see on the radar signature that there is any type of tornado or severe weather in the area. So we'll keep you updated. In fact, right now there's a severe thunderstorm warning.
And that is for Archer, Wichita, and Will Barger counties. Electra, Holiday, Iowa Park, you're in on that. That's until 4:30 Central Time. Has a history already of producing some sizable hail as it moves off to the northeast. But notice the line itself is trying to make some southward progress too.
All right, so we'll keep you updated for the rest of the afternoon, not only here in Texas, but across central Oklahoma, all the way into the southern parts of Minnesota today. The threat of strong to severe storms, including the threat of tornadoes.
And again, you're looking live in the Seymour, Texas area to the west-southwest of Wichita Falls. We'll be right back after a look on the 8s.
Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. The seal you can trust, with stain and sealer in one, and easy to choose colors. Exceptional beauty and protection have never been easier. Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. Available at the Home Depot.
It's a beautiful day to use Thompson's Water Seal.
Come on, buddy, arms up.
Why do you have to put on a sweater?
Because we are going out to brunch.
Why?
Because it's Mother's Day, and on Mother's Day, sometimes you have to wear things that you don't like to wear. And now we get to drive and sit in traffic, go to a fancy restaurant, and order a bunch of overpriced entrees that are really small. Things like quiche, which is egg pie, believe it or not.
Make her Mother's Day meal special by making it yourself.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is a large and dangerous tornado.
That's why we get real local the moment you need it.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida.
Real accurate.
This is round one of the severe storms that are coming through.
From
There's a gust front for you right there in Dusty, Texas.
Texas. Wow.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is basically what makes the Weather Channel
Keep the
great.
Weather Channel on.
Here at the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel is out in full force today.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, except for a few afternoon clouds, mainly sunny. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Friday night, clear skies. Low 70. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
How about over there?
What does it mean to have an unlimited mileage warranty on a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz? What does it mean to drive as far as you want for up to 3 years and be covered? It means your odometer is there to record the memories. During the Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales event now through June 1st, you'll get complimentary prepaid maintenance and receive your first 2 months payments on us, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Let's do this. We start here, talk to her, pick up some of that, a few of those. Okay, a lot of those. Then dirt, plants, water, just a little time, and then boom. Spring. Big time. Let's do this. Plant color everywhere. 1 quart Vigoril annuals now for just $10. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Jackie's heart attack didn't come with a warning. Today, her doctor has her on a Bayer aspirin regimen to help reduce the risk of another one. If you've had a heart attack, be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
Think the tree we carved our names in is still here?
That's probably dead.
How much fun is this?
What?
What a beautiful sunset.
If you like sunsets.
Whether you're sweet or salty, you'll love Nature Valley Sweet and Salty Bars.
Oh, cool. I can get my free credit score on Credit Karma.
I have great credit.
How do you know?
Duh.
Try Credit Karma. It's free, and you can see what your score is right now.
I just got my free credit score.
Credit Karma. Really?
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-855-305-2053 now.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program,
and it just hit us,
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. It's time now to get you up to date on severe weather, and there's a brand new tornado warning to tell you about in western Kansas. That is in effect for Gray and Haskell counties going until 4:15. Law enforcement reporting a tornado, and that is now lifting off towards the northeast. I'll give you the particulars on the storm. Not very far away from Route 56 right now, and that's now moving north at 30 miles per hour and could get very close to Montezuma there as it lifts off to the north. We'll get back into that coming up here in a few minutes. I want to show you what's happening in the Dallas and Fort Worth metro area. We've got a couple of storms now beginning to fire up, and the atmosphere is certainly conducive for severe storms, so we'll watch those. There's a warning now well off to the west of Fort Worth. That's for Young County going until 4:45. And then we're also watching this big complex of storms, Archer, Wichita, Will Barger counties under severe warning until 4:30. Tennis ball size hail was reported not very far away from Seymour, and we've got a live picture of this cell right now, and there's a look at the clouds as they continue to overspread the area. I believe we're probably looking north in this case. Notice the clouds are fairly low. That's because the atmosphere is very humid, so you don't have to go up very high before you start forming cloud. That's called a low base or lifted condensation level, and when you have that, you know that there's a better chance of tornadoes because the tornado doesn't have to extend as far to make it all the way to the ground. All right, let's take you a little farther north now and show you what's going on in Oklahoma. Got a great big complex of thunderstorms, a lot of rain with this. We had major problems with flooding last night in Oklahoma City. That's going to be a worry again tonight. And then we've got this line of storms all along the cold front here in Kansas and into southeast Nebraska. Again, that tornado warning now west of Dodge City for Gray and Haskell counties. That's going until 4:15. And then far to the north and east, warning here that is southwest of the Quad Cities, Des Moines, Henry counties under severe warning until 4:15 for quarter-size hail and damaging wind. So here's the area of concern for today. It's over a huge part of the country from the western lakes right down through Texas. Then tomorrow, we're going to find severe weather, and we expect it to step up a little bit. The Torcon values up to 5 in northern parts of Texas tomorrow, and then that severe threat is going to step up even more on Saturday. There's a very strong low now coming through California and Nevada. As that moves out on Saturday into the plains, we are likely going to see tornadoes, and they could be long track tornadoes. We'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes. Let's get over to Viv and Brian now.
All right, thanks very much, Carl, for the latest on storms on land. But let's talk about a system offshore. And I'm here with senior hurricane specialist Brian Norcross, and we're going to talk about this system, Brian. Now, what do we know today that we didn't know yesterday?
Well, we know that low pressure is forming here just off of South Carolina as forecast. We also know that there's only a couple of clusters of thunderstorms with that circulation.
Okay.
That's why it's still an invest.
Oh, right.
That's why it's still in that mode, and they haven't pulled the trigger yet, even though they've got 45-mile-an-hour winds out there.
Right.
But hurricane hunters are going out in a couple hours, going to look at it again, so we'll see if by 11 o'clock tonight they go ahead and start it.
Okay.
Here's the model. This is the GFS model now, and here we are today. Now watch as we go through the day. You can see there's not a whole lot organized with this, although it kind of looks like it's trying to get organized. But it doesn't move very much. I put the other models, look, so pick your model, but they're all in this general area here. And notice it still doesn't have good organization.
And one thing I must say, this time yesterday we were watching the different computer models, and all of them were in agreement, just like today, that it'll eventually come on shore somewhere here in South Carolina, we're thinking.
Eventually. This one we normally would discount, so let's not pay attention to that one. So let's look at these down in here. And so notice that on Saturday, it doesn't move very much. It's still sitting out there. And there's a little opportunity Friday into Saturday, it looks like in the atmosphere, for maybe it could strengthen a bit. But then when we get to Sunday, this model actually brings it ashore on Sunday. Some of the other ones keep it offshore here. But the thing is, notice it's all disorganized because the atmospherics become less favorable. So it only has a little tiny window that it might get a little better organized. Generally, the upper level winds and the temperatures of the aloft and the other factors are not really fair, and the dry air are not really favorable for it to strengthen. Now, it could fool us in that little window. It has that little opportunity, and that's why they're flying the airplanes and doing all that work, right? To be sure. But our general thinking is not fast intensification and not a big threat.
Okay, but something we'll continue to watch.
Yes, we will.
Thanks very much, Brian. All right, stay tuned.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, except for a few afternoon clouds, mainly sunny. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Friday night, clear skies. Low 70. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All right, we're looking live right now at Seymour, Texas. This is just west of the Wichita Falls area. We've been following this with our storm chaser, David Drummond. He's keeping his eye on this area of deep clouds that we've been following. It's a large, fairly shelf cloud right now, but we will watch it if it develops into a wall cloud and if we see any rotation with this, perhaps developing a tornado. Definitely staying on top of that. Thank you so much for joining us on Weather Center Live. I'm Vivian Brown.
And I'm Maria LaRosa. A lot to get through aside from the severe weather. There's also the tropics.
That's right. Here it is. This is a system that we're watching. It's called Invest 90L because we continue to investigate this area of low pressure. It has an 80% chance of developing into a named storm. So definitely keeping you updated on that.
And the impacts continue there, but we're also watching the severe weather unfold right now. We want to go right to our storm specialist, Carl Parker, with more on what's happening right now. Carl.
Hey, Maria, I want to take you out to our live camera right now and show you just this remarkable picture of the storm that they are tracking in North Texas, not very far away from Sherman. And this storm put down tennis ball size hail. But what you're seeing in the distance there, if you look over the horizon, you see a little lowering right there. And that is what we call a wall cloud. So you've got the base of that circulation within the storm, a little bit of rotation within the storm. And there's an area where the cloud is lower than it is through the rest of the base, and that is the area where a tornado would develop were one to develop. Rotation in that storm, but sometimes even with just a bit of rotation, you can still get the development of the wall cloud there, and you can very clearly see that wall cloud there hanging from the base of that storm. So we'll continue to keep our eyes on this. I want to show you the warnings that are now not very far away, including a warning on that cell. So Young County under warning right now. This is north and west of Dallas and Fort Worth. There are a couple of cells that are popping up right around Fort Worth. No warnings on those, but we'll need to watch those. And oftentimes it's these individual cells that can be very dangerous. They'll have more of a tornado threat. And so we're going to want to watch that very carefully. Also, a warning here that's now coming into Wichita Falls. The concern is going to be large hail, could be golf ball size hail, along with damaging wind. That's going until 4:30 this afternoon. Now we'll expand the picture out one more time and show you what's going on here. We've got a lot of heavy rain coming up through Oklahoma. I'm sorry, I'm also watching what's going on with this live camera here, and we'll want to go back to that probably in just a second. And then also we've got a line of storms now extending up through Kansas and into Nebraska. There is a tornado warning on this in the far southwestern edge of this line. Not seeing a whole lot of rotation on the radar. Could have been just a brief spin up reported by law enforcement there, but Gray and Haskell counties under tornado warning. And let's go back out and take another live look at that cell that is now in North Texas. And again, you're seeing very clearly that there is a lowering there. This area that sort of protrudes from the base and is just locked up, unfortunately, clearly a wall cloud. So we'll keep our eyes on that and see if there's going to be a tornado developing with that storm. We'll have much more on severe weather coming up in a few minutes. Maria, over to you.
All right, dangerous storm at the very least, Carl. Thank you. And storm clouds are building again in Oklahoma this afternoon. They come just 24 hours after deadly storms ripped across the plains, spawned dozens of tornado reports, hurling tennis ball size hail, dumping flooding rain as well.
And NBC's Jay Gray updates us on the damage and recovery efforts in one of the places hardest hit, and that was Oklahoma City.
Pockets of splintered debris are scattered across the Oklahoma landscape after a string of violent tornadoes.
It's been a very long night, long day yesterday.
There were reports of at least 51 twisters across Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, and North Texas. A dozen people injured, at least 5 still in critical condition after this RV park took a direct hit. Oklahoma City's fire chief describes the delicate rescue of one of the survivors there.
A young man that was trapped under one of these RV units, a little bit more of an extensive operation requiring some specialized equipment, airbags, and so forth.
In some neighborhoods, it was the wind. In others, the water that caused the most serious problems. As much as 8 inches of rain in some areas, swallowing communities. A 42-year-old woman drowned when her underground storm shelter filled with rain. Now, as the cleanup begins.
And we'll be out here today, helping people put their lives back together.
But forecasters warn more severe weather could be on the way.
We're still at risk of having storms over the next several days.
This battered community working to recover with an eye on the clouds and concern about what could come next. Jay Gray, NBC News, Oklahoma City.
All right, Oklahoma's governor has declared a state of emergency in 12 counties hit hard yesterday.
It's not just that area that we're looking at of concern. We're also watching the southeast coast for possible tropical trouble. And our senior hurricane specialist, Brian Norcross, is here with the latest on Invest 90L. Brian, good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Maria and Viv. All right, let's take a look at what's going on out there. Hurricane hunters out there earlier this afternoon, heading out in another couple hours for another look. And here we get a pretty good view on the satellite. But what they found earlier, 45-mile-an-hour winds and a pressure of 1,004 millibars. Generally, that would be enough for a tropical storm. But what we're missing here is we're missing an organized circulation with thunderstorms around it. We have plenty of thunderstorms out there, but they're not mostly associated with the circulation. But the Hurricane Center is still thinking that there's about an 80% chance of this actually developing enough to become a named system, whether it becomes tropical, subtropical depression number 1 or tropical depression or subtropical storm or whatever it is, about an 80% chance of that happening, and likely it would go to subtropical storm Ana because they already have the 45-mile-an-hour winds. All right, let's look at this satellite picture in the high resolution here, and there we see the circulation, and here we see a couple of thunderstorm complexes associated with the circulation. These other complexes moving away are not related to the circulation and really don't count in whether this thing has enough organization or not to go ahead and get a name. So that's what the hurricane hunters are going to look at. Here on the radar, really some strong thunderstorm cells, weakening somewhat, but heading along the Georgia coast there. Otherwise, you see not much on radar, although the system is just a little bit at the end of radar range. So here's what the model says. You see this kind of disorganized kind of arc of the storms right now, as we saw on the radar. Now watch as we go through the next day. Now this is the RPM model that we run here at the Weather Channel, and you see now it's consolidating more. So the thinking is that it would be subtropical storm Ana at that time, but not really well organized. It's a little tiny window to strengthen a little bit, but not a whole lot. And then this model brings it ashore on Saturday. Whether it does or not doesn't make any difference. It never gets very, very well organized, according to the best information we have now. All right, back with more in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Need brakes? Pep Boys has the best brake service at the best price. Right now, get $50 off instantly on our Precision Match brake service with state-of-the-art on-car rotary surfacing exclusively at Pep Boys. Trust the boys to get you there.
I've got plans, and this is my baby right now. So it's just not the right time to get pregnant. That's why I chose Skyla. Skyla is the small, flexible IUD that prevents pregnancy for up to 3 years. So for me, there are no daily pills or monthly refills. I got my Skyla placed in just a few minutes at my OBGYN's office. And if I want to try to get pregnant, I can get it removed whenever I want.
If you have a pelvic infection, get infections easily, or have certain cancers, don't use Skyla. Less than 1% of users get a serious infection called PID. If you have persistent pelvic or stomach pain, or if Skyla comes out, tell your doctor. Skyla may attach or go through the uterus and cause other problems. Pregnancy while using Skyla is uncommon, but can be life-threatening and may result in loss of pregnancy or fertility. Ovarian cysts may occur, but usually disappear. Bleeding and spotting may increase in the first 3 to 6 months and remain irregular. Periods over time usually become shorter, lighter, or may stop. Skyla does not protect against HIV or STDs.
Talk to your OBGYN about making the move to Skyla.
Check with your insurance to find out if you can get Skyla at no cost.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
And if you're watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
Currently, Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, except for a few afternoon clouds, mainly sunny. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Friday night, clear skies. Low 70. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It was right on top of us, and then it hit. And we took it to the edge, didn't give up.
Once we were dreamers, adventurers set out to discover new lands, new people, new ways. Once we were great explorers, in search of hidden treasure, secret hideouts, magic lands. The treasure is still here and waiting to inspire a new generation of dreamers. Come uncover the riches and bounty of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
When you're waiting for summer, every second feels like an eternity. So when it finally arrives, make every second count on a Sea-Doo watercraft. With 14 models to choose from and starting at just $49.99, there's a Sea-Doo that's right for you. At the Countdown to Summer sales event, get up to a 5-year warranty or save up to $1,000. But hurry, this offer ends May 31st. Go to Sea-Doo.com or your local dealer for details.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. And an award for best tasting hard cider.
Have you got the shot yet?
Remember that thing about keeping your face behind the award? Strongbow.
Okay, we have Mike, we have a roof that just flew through the air here. I don't know where it came from. Yeah, keep moving forward, TJ.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is a serious situation, guys. This is life or death out here.
And now survey teams are starting to report back and confirm some of the 40-plus tornado reports we saw yesterday. Investigators say that at least an EF3 tornado with 150-mile-per-hour winds struck in Sedgwick and Harvey counties in Kansas, and that's near Wichita.
Meanwhile, in Oklahoma City, survey teams say at least an EF2 tornado hit at Interstate 35 and Southeast 44th Street yesterday. Earlier today, another team reported that at least an EF1 tornado appears to have caused the damage they surveyed in Norman, Oklahoma.
All right, I want to check in now with Storm Specialist Carl Parker for an update on what's happening, because Carl's not only watches issued, but we have several warnings now.
Yeah, that's right. And we want to get you out into Texas, North Texas right now. And we've got storm chaser David Drummond on the phone. He's been following cells there across the northern part of the state. David, are you with us right now?
I am with you.
So tell me exactly what road you're on and which way you're headed and where you're trying to, what part of the storm you're trying to get to.
I'm actually on Texas 114, trying to get down toward the storm that's coming up between Throckmorton and Graham.
Okay, and it looked to me like for a moment there you were getting towards a wall cloud, but then it appeared to sort of weaken a little. Is that what you saw on the ground there?
Well, what we're watching there is this complex that's been coming back to Seymour, and, we were on earlier, has got a huge shelf cloud on it, and it just keeps advancing forward and forward with a lot of wind behind it.
All right, and so have you seen any hail, any large hail out there?
About 1 inch is the largest I've seen so far.
All right, David Drummond, looks like your picture's locking up, but we're going to continue to keep in touch with you. And there's a look at where the warning is right now. Archer, Wichita, Will-Barger counties under severe thunderstorm warning. There's also a warning off to the south of that, and cells are firing now around Dallas and Fort Worth. So getting more active, and we're going to continue to keep a very close eye on all of this. Now, I want to turn the clock ahead a little bit and talk about tomorrow and Saturday, because they are likely to be very busy days. And here is our forecast for tomorrow, centered on the central and southern part of the plains. Now, we've got torcons of 5 out of 10 right around southwestern Oklahoma and northwest Texas. That's because we're going to see a stronger upper disturbance coming out, so more mid-level wind, more shear in the atmosphere. But then there's an even stronger disturbance right in here. You can really see that swirl sitting over California, and that is going to move out into the plains on Saturday. When that happens, there's going to be a terrific amount of available energy, buoyant energy that gets these thunderstorms popping up in the first place. But then we're also going to see a lot of wind shear, very strong mid-level winds coming out of the southwest, while surface winds come out of the south or even out of the southeast. So a lot of turning of the wind with height, and when combined with tremendous buoyant energy, that means possibly long track tornadoes on Saturday. Saturday could be a very big day for severe weather. We've got a 6 out of 10 on the Torcon index there in central Oklahoma as well as in central Kansas, and it's not going to be over on Saturday. This system is going to slow down and then gradually lift up and into the Midwest. So on Sunday, you've got severe weather extending from the northern plains and western lakes down into the southern plains. And once again, a concern about tornadoes. It is a 5 out of 10 on the Torcon in central and northeast Texas, and then getting up here into Missouri, 3 out of 10 right around that 44 corridor. And then we've also got a 5 out of 10 in central and eastern Iowa. So a very busy weekend for severe weather, most likely. Viv, Maria, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Carl. Of course, we will be here all weekend as the tornado threat continues throughout the area. Let's take you live now to Seymour, Texas. Oh, no, this is Union City, and you can see that we are looking at live shots of the low, dark clouds. K4 TV.
We got the new Temperflex, and it's got the spring and bounce of a traditional mattress.
You sink into it, but you can still move around.
And now that I have a Temperflex, I can finally get a good night's sleep.
I flop down on the bed, and it's just like, oh, this is perfect.
Wherever you put your body, it just supports you.
Like little support elves are just holding you.
I can sleep now through the night.
Change your sleep. Change your life. Change to Tempur-Pedic.
You pay your auto insurance premium every month on the dot. You're like the poster child for paying on time. And then one day, you tap the bumper of a station wagon. No big deal until your insurance company jacks up your rates. You freak out. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Hey, insurance companies, newsflash. Nobody's perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Now with a full line of independent rear suspension options, the Foreman, Rubicon, and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda. Now get low fixed financing rates plus up to $500 in bonus bucks during the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
Every inch, every minute, every second, we chip away at finding inspiration to reimagine luxury, making the colors of earth and sunset skies into rich interior accents, or putting the beauty of a forest in the palm of your hands. It will take you to another place, wherever you happen to be. Made with pride, crafted with passion. This is the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It is the best of what we're made of.
In a matter of seconds, your life can change.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program is back.
Things were just going everywhere. And then it was silent.
This was it.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
With Nutrisystem, lose up to 15 pounds by summer and feel great.
I'm Melissa Joan Hart, and I lost 40 pounds on Nutrisystem. My energy is back, and I can't stop smiling about it.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus Kit. Lose 5 pounds in your first week and 1 inch off your waist, or your money back guaranteed.
I'm Judy Francis, and I lost 30 pounds on Nutrisystem. I did it, and I'm not done yet.
I'm Dan. I lost 22 pounds with Nutrisystem.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of specially selected meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes to rev your metabolism free. And 1 week of Craving Crusher shakes to crush those cravings free.
I'm Marie, and I lost 50 pounds.
on Nutrisystem. There's never been a better time to get started. Trust me, Nutrisystem worked for me, and I know it'll work for you too.
Call 877-984-THIN right now and get Fast 5 Plus with shakes free.
It was right on top of us, and then it hit. And we took it to the edge, didn't give up.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Friday, sunny along with a few afternoon clouds. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 90. Friday night, a mostly clear sky. Low 69. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now you are looking at a live look at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, one of the areas along the southeast coast that we've been watching the effects between the area of low pressure that's off the coast and other factors being kind of a windy, blustery day, heightened risk of rip currents. But we do want to check in with our Mike Seidel, who's live there for us.
And the skies for blue. Good afternoon, Maria, from the beach here on the Grand Strand. And what we're seeing now is that dry air wrapping in. Look off to the north, northeast, and over the Ferris wheel and the pier. Look at all the blue sky coming in. We could have our third incredible, beautiful, sumptuous sunset here on the Grand Strand. Third day in a row. We had one last night, and the one I tweeted and Facebooked out on 2 nights ago on Tuesday night was just unbelievable. Meanwhile, back to the issue at hand. We're watching way off the coast. Brian Norcross talked about that earlier. You know, we've got the 45-mile-an-hour winds. We just don't have enough organization, at least the National Hurricane Center doesn't think so at this point, to name it Subtropical Storm Ana. That's likely what they're going to go to when they name it. Maybe later on tonight by 11 o'clock. But right now we're just dealing with the same impacts, whether it has a name or not. It's purely a function of what we're seeing here, the surf. These are about 3-footers right now. They'll ramp up over the next couple days, maybe 4 or 5-footers, maybe occasional 6-foot sets coming in. Tides will be a little higher than average. We're not expecting serious issues with flooding here in Myrtle Beach. Maybe a little beach erosion, but as you can see up and down the beach, it's fairly level. We haven't lost a lot of sand like we saw down in Fort Lauderdale a couple of days ago from all that northeast wind last weekend and the early part of this week. What we have had is rough surf, not only right on the shoreline, but out in the open waters. And late this morning around 10 o'clock, a man and a woman in their 36-foot sailboat, well, they ran into problems. Dangerous surf out there at the jetties just outside of Charleston Harbor. And at that point, they called the Coast Guard.
Mayday, mayday, this is Sunshine, Charleston Harbor. We are thinking, distress, mayday, mayday.
And there you can see some of the still photos provided to us from our friends at the Coast Guard. They sent a chopper and a small crew boat out there, and the crew boat was able to throw them a line, the 2 sailors, the 2 boaters, and bring them on the boat and bring them back to port, and they're okay tonight. But just keep in mind, we're going to have this rough surf all the way out for the next several days, probably through Mother's Day. So you probably should just stay in port and stay out of the water. If we do get some periods of sunshine, certainly don't venture out. The lifeguards will tell you they're going to have the red flag warnings up here if the days do feature some sunshine. So for the next couple of days here, rip currents, surf ramping up, and the occasional showers and thunderstorms. But Maria and Vivian, as we've seen on the radar today, they're few and far between, and we may see that through Mother's Day weekend. We may luck out. It may not be. It certainly isn't going to be a total washout. This is not that kind of situation. But it's going to be around a long time. Back to you guys.
All right, Mike Seidel in Myrtle Beach. And he brings up a good point. We don't want our fine men and women of the Coast Guard working harder than they have to. Just stay on land.
But look at these pictures, Maria. I mean, is this an ominous looking scene or what? 24 hours later, I mean, this time yesterday we were watching the ominous looking skies just west of Oklahoma City, and here we are again. These are pictures from our local affiliate KFOR TV near Union City, Oklahoma, again just west of the OKC area.
And there is a big cluster of thunderstorms moving to the east, getting closer to Oklahoma City, and you can see right on Union City's door there. A few of them along that line do have severe thunderstorm warnings, capable of producing large hail and very gusty winds. Keep in mind, we also have that severe thunderstorm watch in effect.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
I went to Ancestry.com, but I thought, I'm not going to make it very far. I knew my parents and my grandparents, and then it happened. I got a leaf. When I clicked on it, I could actually see my grandfather's draft card from World War I and his U.S. Census from 1910, and another member's tree that had my great-grandparents and their parents and everything. And it all started with my first leaf.
Who will you discover at Ancestry.com?
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you may find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
It's a profound statement.
But you're not even covered for this.
It's a profound statement.
Or how you may be covered for this, but not for something like this. Talk to farmers and see what gaps could be hiding in your coverage.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
We could tell you about the years of research and development. How we forged advanced high-strength steel to make the frame stronger yet lighter. The countless hours spent testing the suspension and tuning every sound from the engine to the trunk. But until you get behind the wheel, you have no idea. The completely redesigned Hyundai Sonata.
Think the tree we carved our names in is still here?
That's probably dead.
How much fun is this?
What?
What a beautiful sunset.
If you like sunsets.
Whether you're sweet or salty, you'll love Nature Valley Sweet and Salty Bars.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then you need Ageless Male, with an ingredient clinically shown to increase free testosterone levels. Ageless Male is now available at these fine retailers.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was good.
And if you were watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Friday, sunny along with a few afternoon clouds. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 90. Friday night, a mostly clear sky. Low 69. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It was right on top of us. And then it hit. And we took it to the edge. Didn't give up.
You are watching the Weather Channel, and we are watching the storms for you. On the top left corner of your screen, we have our helicopter chopper from our local affiliate KFOR, and we're noticing some very intense storms developing just to the west of Oklahoma City again today. These storms have a history of producing some pretty large hailstones, and we're under a severe thunderstorm watch for this area.
And you follow that line, Union City, Oklahoma, down to Seymour, Texas, where on the lower left is one of our storm chasers that we've been checking in with every now and then. David Drummond, you can see there just to the west-southwest of Wichita Falls is the Seymour area. There too, a warning with storms that have had a history producing large hail. All right, we want to get you up to date, the latest on the severe weather. So we're joined now by our storm specialist, Carl Parker, and our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes.
Yeah, Dr. Greg joining me right now. We're going to take a look at those storms that are well north and west of Fort Worth. And pretty interesting what we're seeing on the video right there. It looked like we might have been seeing a little bit of a wall cloud for a time.
Yeah, indeed. Definitely, there was definitely some low-hanging cloud there that seemed to have some inflow coming into that would be indicative of that wall cloud area.
And let's take a look at that live picture right now. And it does appear that he is getting into the core of this storm at this time. He's certainly into the rain right now, so we're not really seeing much of anything in the way of base features.
And we think that he's coming into the storm from the west or from the northwest, as I understand it. So he may wind up coming out one side of the storm into a very different picture from this. The sun may be out, and typically the tornado, if there would be one, would be on the southeast side of where this rain would be. So he may be doing a little bit of what we would call a core punch in terms of punching through, maybe getting into a bear's cage, although this does not seem like it has intense rotation at this point.
All right, and once again, the chopper is up, and we're getting a look at, after a very busy day yesterday, live look at Oklahoma City there, Dr. Greg, and it's not going to be the same kind of day today, not as much of a tornado threat there in Oklahoma City, but certainly a lot of heavy rain and damaging wind possibly.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely there to the left of center, and from the center just to the left there, but right above our tornado alert symbol, you can see a low-hanging, what we would call a wall cloud, or what appears to be a wall cloud, maybe a little bit of a shelf cloud, but certainly a low-hanging layer of cloud that's coming in there. And the veteran helicopter pilot really showed yesterday how storm savvy he was, and he's heading right toward this particular feature of the storm to see if he will see anything coming down from that.
How about the fact that the cloud bases are really quite low today? I mean, that's one of the requirements for a big tornado day. That's telling you there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and it doesn't have very far to go to get to the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. That if the cloud bases are too high, that's a detriment because you can have the rotation in the cloud, but you have all that dry air in between that makes it hard to work the rotation down to the ground. Thus far today, though, we aren't getting the storms starting out with the kind of instant rotation in the storms that we had yesterday. They look a little bit more like ordinary thunderstorms today. Here's that the low-hanging part of the cloud. It goes all the way off the right edge there. I think it's maybe looking a little bit with these kind of little wisps that are coming up, maybe looking a little bit more like a shelf cloud that has some rain-cooled air behind it, and it's sort of like a gust front that's pushing its way toward the helicopter at this point, rather than one that is rotating.
Well, he's really right at cloud base there. He's probably, about a mile up, something like that, maybe 5,000 feet?
I would guess he's, well, maybe 3,000 at most, I would think, in this case. There at the very left here where it's bright, there's definitely a rain shaft in there, perhaps some hail shaft associated with that part of the storm. So if there were to be a tornado to drop down, it could very well be at the edge of where this low-hanging cloud interacts with that more localized updraft. This is there's a little layer of clouds in behind there, a little low layer of clouds, and this would be a good example of, you hear us talk about scud clouds, little filaments of clouds. There's a little scud cloud that's just a layered cloud. You wouldn't mistake that one for a tornado, but sometimes these little filaments of rising air that are a little bit wispy in appearance get mistaken for tornadoes, but in general what those are little moistened areas that are being lifted up over top of rain-cooled air that's pushing its way to the east. And there's definitely back in here now seems to be some rain-cooled air that is pushing its way toward the east.
And sometimes you'll see little fingers developing along that shelf cloud, little gustnadoes develop. I've seen that before, where you get little circulations right along the leading edge of the shelf cloud there.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've had those kind of things up in western parts of Kansas off to the west of Dodge City along a little outflow today. That outflow in Kansas going northwest bound. This one is going to be coming eastbound.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and take a look at what happened earlier today, and a bunch of reports of these land spout tornadoes, just little circulations that can cause damage, but they're not the same as a big damaging tornado.
Yeah, what I'm drawing here is right up to this little gust front that has come northwest bound out of the main body of the storms here. All of these little purple tornado symbols are little land spot tornadoes. They didn't occur right under the heavy thunderstorms. They occurred right as this gust front went by in the shifting winds along that gust front. So those are called land spots. They're look like a little elephant trunk type tornadoes. They're just about the same diameter from cloud base all the way to the ground, and they do occur right out along the outflow from the storms. Now, when they only have a low-level dust swirl on them, we call those gustnadoes, and with the lacking of a connection to the cloud base, then we don't officially classify those as tornadoes when they're gustnadoes. When they're land spots and you see a connection all the way from the ground to the cloud, then we do call them tornadoes of the land spot type.
And Dr. Greg, I want to take us back here into the Dallas and Fort Worth metro area. These are some interesting looking cells here. They look like they're beginning to rotate just a bit.
Yeah, now we would be looking here in the western edge of these storms and see if they begin to rotate. And the big tip-off yesterday was when these storms that were going east, or I should say north or northeast, began to turn more to the east. That meant that the rotation was intensifying, and that was the tip-off that they may be starting to rotate. So that's what we were sort of monitoring yesterday. The storms would begin to go back off to the northeast. They meant that they were weakening. They'd start turning back due east, and they were strengthening again. We saw quite a lot of that.
All right, a bunch of warnings to tell you about here. Here's a warning for Young County. We have seen some really large hail with some of these cells. Also a warning now for Archer, Clay counties. The movement is generally east, about 30 miles per hour. Got another warning for Archer, Clay, Wichita counties up through the Red River. Another very long warning here for Caddo, Comanche, and Cotton counties. And then here we go up into Oklahoma City, and you see what's off to the west there, Dr. Greg. Obviously, it's not going to be as bad of a severe day today.
Not as bad as a severe day. It's looking more like a line, and I think that the helicopter was probably looking at the leading edge of this with all that rain behind it, marching with a gust front and a shelf cloud toward the Oklahoma City area. But speaking of shelf clouds, when our chaser down there in Texas gets to the east side of this, I think he's going to get one heck of a shelf cloud coming out, because we definitely seem to be having a whole line of thunderstorms, a squall line when they have winds with them, that is marching there east of Seymour, Texas. He's still in the rain at this point.
All right, and let's go ahead and take a look at the outlooks, Dr. Greg, for the next couple of days, because we've got a couple of really big days ahead of us. This is Friday, and I've got another upper disturbance coming out, and the torcons are going to be up tomorrow.
Yeah, they are. I've given a 5 value tomorrow as we begin to get the very leading edge of that upper air forcing coming in there to the northwest Texas, the western Oklahoma area, and then some 4s and 3s for additional areas. Here is the main upper low. It is sagged down again. We've seen so many of these this year, sagged into California. Then it will begin to push its way slowly off toward the east, and as it does so, probably Saturday will be the day that will really have a lot of instability, as you see here in yellow across a big area, and beginning to be very favorable winds. So I've given some tornado condition index values of 6 again for parts of central Oklahoma on Saturday, and then 5 values even into Sunday as this system heads east.
We could be talking about some long track tornadoes coming up here on Saturday. We'll have much more on all of this severe weather coming up.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Friday, sunny along with a few afternoon clouds. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 90. Friday night, a mostly clear sky. Low 69. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
There are no medals won for earning a living. It's just what you do for family. But it's hard to build a future if you can't see past today. That's why Walmart is investing in the most important part of our company, our people. Because a raise in pay raises us all.
I take these out to put in Dr. Scholl's Active Series insoles. They help reduce wear and tear on my legs because they have triple zone protection and reduce shock by 40%. So I feel like I'm ready to take on anything.
So nice, so nice. Sweet, sweet scent of my nice. So nice, so nice. Send cry full of pure vibes. So nice, so nice. Send John a real paradise. So nice, so proud to be from the Virgin Islands and the whole place nice.
To experience your Virgin Islands nice, book one of our packages today.
Remember when you said men are superior drivers?
Yeah?
Yeah. Then how'd I get this?
Allstate Safe Driving Bonus Check.
Who's that?
So weird, right? My agent Tom said.
Only Allstate sends you a bonus check for every 6 months you're accident-free.
But I'm a woman. Maybe it's a misprint. Does it look like a misprint?
Okay, let's try. Silence. Ask an Allstate agent about the Safe Driving Bonus Check. Are you in good hands?
Supermodel Cindy Crawford doesn't just walk the red carpet, she rocks it. At age 47, she steals the show and wows the international press. New York Daily News raves that Cindy defies the laws of aging. And Us Weekly proclaims Cindy Crawford hasn't aged a bit. Her secret is Meaningful Beauty, a complete skincare system that restores the look of youth.
My skin looks firmer now. It's smooth and it's young looking. I'm so glad I found Meaningful Beauty.
Since using Meaningful Beauty, my skin tone is evening out. And I notice that all the little lines have softened. My skin has never looked better.
And right now is the perfect time for you to experience Meaningful Beauty because this brand new offer is Cindy's best deal ever. Normally $119, you'll pay only $39.95 when you call and order today. But hold on, this is where the offer gets really good. Cindy's Red Carpet Trio, a $95 value, is yours absolutely free when you call now. The trio includes 2 Meaningful Beauty favorites, Wrinkle Smoothing Capsules and Glowing Serum, for an immediate boost of glamour and glow. And when you order today, you also get the amazing Skin Polishing Brush. This 2-speed ultra-luxurious brush gently but deeply cleanses, powering away dry, dead skin cells, revealing smoother, more radiant-looking skin.
The brush really feels like it's polishing my skin, and it just leaves it with an incredible glow.
The total effect of this free gift package? A red carpet-ready complexion. You get all this, a $215 value for just $39.95. But you must act quickly. Results guaranteed or your money back.
Pick up the phone, try it. It's going to make you feel beautiful. You're going to be thrilled.
This is a limited time offer, so call 1-800-530-3933 or go to trymb.com/brush now.
Ryan Norcross back here in the lab at the Weather Channel, bringing you up to date on what's going on with the system off South Carolina.
that is trying to become Subtropical Storm Ana, our first named storm of the season. We think that's the most likely to happen. National Hurricane Center says that is likely to happen, but not yet. Here's where we stand. The hurricane hunters went out there, they flew through it, and they found 45-mile-an-hour winds, certainly sufficient winds to call it a subtropical storm or a tropical storm, 40 miles per hour being the threshold there, and the pressure plenty low at 1,004 millibars. But on the satellite, we see that there's clouds going out this way and moving out this way. What really counts is what's near the center. Let's look at the high-resolution satellite after we remind you that there's still an 80% chance of this happening. And as we look at the high-resolution satellite, there's a decent chance that that will come to fruition later on tonight. The hurricane hunters are going back out there, and the reason I say that is you see the swirl there, plenty well-defined swirl in the clouds, and we see here thunderstorms developing associated with that swirl. This flow of air here and all the way around and over there, all of that, that's not associated with the swirl. Really what counts is what's right in there. And so as thunderstorms start to fire off there, if the hurricane hunters find winds in there of sufficient strength and they think that there is sufficient organization at the Hurricane Center, they're going to go ahead and name it. All this other stuff is going to kind of go away with time as it consolidates. Now, so as the winds come around here and this system sits out here and it's really not moving very much at all, it's going to push a bunch of water up against the coast. So one of the main threats, if not the main threat from this system, is most likely going to be some higher than normal tides here along the South Carolina coast especially. So low-lying areas, be aware of that. And also a lot of energy going into the ocean. So the waves are going to be very, very rough. Not that the weather is going to be terrible. So some people might be at the beach. So here's where we are now according to the model. So this is this afternoon. And notice this big kind of band out there. And then notice some storms right around the center of the circulation. Now watch as we go through time what happens to those outer storms. Notice they kind of go away and we get some consolidation here around the center. So that's an indication, if this happens the way the computers are indicating, this is going to be a subtropical storm. And there's a slight chance, there's a little window of time when it could actually atmospherically change enough to be called Tropical Storm Ana. But it really doesn't make any difference in terms of the weather. It's not terribly well organized, it's just better organized than it is now. Then this model actually moves it ashore on Saturday. Whether that happens on Saturday or Sunday really doesn't make a whole lot of difference. We don't think the atmosphere is just not conducive for any big strengthening, but maybe a little bit. So we're just going to be aware that some very gusty winds can occur in some of these cells if this system organizes a little more like we think it will. Now, will it come ashore on Saturday? Not saying that at all. As we look at the other models, we see that they hang it around on Friday and on into Saturday, and you see the ends of these lines. See, they're still offshore, these other models. This one, which we don't normally look at, doesn't really count. These actually want to kind of move it towards shore on Sunday. The bottom line is it's going to be affecting the Carolina coast there here on through the weekend. Not terribly bad all the time, but the biggest issues look like immediately they're going to be in the water. All right, back to Viv and Maria.
All right, Brian, thank you so much. And we've got our other focus, of course, through the central U.S., and that is the severe weather that we see firing up right now.
Yeah, we have a very potent cold front that's moving through the region, and look at this dry line separating the very dry, arid air mass to the warm, moist, unstable air mass out ahead of it. And we have right out ahead of the cold front a pretty solid line of intense storms. But look at this large area of rain that we're watching in Texas and Oklahoma with dangerous lightning strikes.
Dangerous lightning and also hail. They've been hail producers, some of it quite big, it's the size of tennis balls as on the south side of that line, but it's moving off to the east northeast, mainly to the south side of Oklahoma City. But you can see for Caddo, Comanche, and Cotton counties out until 5 o'clock Central Time, and to the south, Wichita Falls now involved.
And this is so eerie, Maria, because it was just this time 24 hours ago that we were watching this exact same area just west of Dallas in the Wichita Falls area. Again, these storms have produced large hailstones already and very gusty winds, and you can see the dangerous lightning strikes as well.
And we do have a severe thunderstorm watch posted for that area. Here you have Dodge City, earlier tornado warning, but now severe thunderstorm warning, and you follow that line up near Concordia, also a severe thunderstorm warning.
And it's a pretty narrow line, but it's intense nonetheless, and we'll keep you updated. There you see Elliott in western Iowa. Be careful and on the lookout as well.
My school reunion. I don't know.
Who wants to play in Idaho?
Gotta get Milwaukee up to speed.
We win in Flint. We take the lead.
We'll close the deal if we just show.
Should I stay or should I go?
When it's go to choicehotels.com, the site with the right room, rewards, and savings up to 20% when you book direct. choicehotels.com.
The termite swarm has come. Enter the legions of Terminex with 85 years of experience and the strongest guarantee in the business. Sorry, termites, we got our swarm of our own. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminex.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is a large and dangerous tornado.
That's why we get real local the moment you need it.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida.
Real accurate.
This is round one of the severe storms that are coming through.
From real experts on the ground.
That is a gust front for you right there in Dusty, Texas. Wow.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is basically what makes the Weather Channel
Keep the Weather Channel on. Here at the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel is out in full force today.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Friday, sunny along with a few afternoon clouds. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 90. Friday night, a mostly clear sky. Low 69. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Doers. They don't worry if something's possible. They just do it. At Sears Optical, we're committed to bringing them eyewear that works as hard as they do. Right now, save up to $200 on eyeglasses. Quality eyewear for doers. Sears Optical.
Dave's been working on his game.
Morning, double bogey.
Hey, 3-puff. And starting each day with a delicious bowl of heart-healthy Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
How's your cereal?
Sweet. Tastes like winning.
How would you know what winning tastes like?
Dave knows it's also a delicious source of fiber and one more step towards a healthy tomorrow. Invest in your heart health with Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
No crying today.
And try new Kellogg's Raisin Bran with cranberries, the tart and sweet way to up your breakfast game.
Hey, Hunter, need some pointers?
Just around the house.
Yeah, should do it then.
I love this free store pickup.
Yeah, it's also great when you're on tour. Just order online, we'll have it waiting for you the same day. You know, I bet there's an Ace within a golf swing at just about anywhere.
Really?
Oh, you don't need to...
New mailboxes.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Drive safely, Hunter.
Thanks again, Mike.
Joseph A. Bank presents Look Sharp, Save Smart. Purchase one sport coat, receive a second sport coat, and 2 pants free. Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. And an award for best tasting hard cider.
Have you got the shot yet?
Remember that thing about keeping your face behind the award? Strongbow.
What you doing?
Checking my free credit score at Credit Karma.
I have great credit.
When's the last time you checked?
That's a lot of cheddar. We gotta check your credit score. Bring you to man. Your credit is fly.
You know, credit scores change. Aren't you curious what it is right now?
Still popping and locking.
Credit Karma. Get your free score.
When it comes to Medicare, everyone talks about what happens when you turn 65. But really, it's what you do before that counts. See, Medicare doesn't cover everything, only about 80% of Part B medical costs. The rest is on you.
Consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement insurance plans, it could really save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. So call now and request this free decision guide. Discover how an AARP Medicare Supplement plan could go long for you.
you want to choose your doctors. Avoid networks. What about referrals?
All plans like these let you visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients, with no networks and virtually no referrals needed. So call now, request your free guide, and explore the range of AARP Medicare supplement plans.
65 may get all the attention, but now is a good time to start thinking about how you want things to be.
Go long.
Tomorrow morning, a tropical threat and severe weather. We'll have the details on both for your weekend. Wake up with Al at AMHQ tomorrow morning at 5, only on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. We are following severe weather in Texas as well as into Oklahoma and up into Kansas. And let's begin with a look at what's happening in North Texas and also in Oklahoma. And there are warnings right now extending right along the Red River Valley. We're getting severe thunderstorm warnings with these storms as they move generally east at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Now, there are a couple of storms that have fired up in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, and they are showing a little bit of curvature, showing a little bit of rotation. Certainly not rising to the level of a tornado warning as of yet, but there could be some small hail coming into Weatherford right along I-20 there, and this certainly does bear watching. There is a closer look at the cells now west of Fort Worth, and again, seeing just a little bit of curvature in these cells, and so we're going to keep watching these like a hawk. Now, farther north and west, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Jack and Young counties. The concern here is ping pong ball size hail. That's coming right into Route 148 and across 281. Another warning to the north of that. Again, the concern is ping pong hail. Archer, Clay counties under warning until 5 p.m. And then to the north of that, we've got concern about quarter-size hail and damaging wind. That's Archer, Clay, Wichita counties under severe warning till the top of the hour. Then a very large warning along these multi-cell clusters, Caddo, Comanche, and Cotton counties under warning also until the top of the hour. Now, of course, we had a really busy day yesterday in Oklahoma City. You see what's coming in right now. It's a very large area of heavy rain with embedded thunder, so that is going to reduce the severe threat, but we're going to get a lot of rain. And we had flooding yesterday in Oklahoma City, so that's going to be a worry once again. There could easily be 2-3 inches of rain as this moves in. Then you've got a line of storms right now in central Kansas. Had some warnings around Dodge City. The concern of large hail and damaging wind. Also severe warning in the northern part of the state. They've mostly been widely scattered warnings thus far along the cold front in Kansas, and there's a warning right now for Edwards, Hodgman, and Pawnee counties going until 5:15. So here is tomorrow, and the severe weather threat is going to be ramping up over the next couple of days, and you've got a threat that extends through the central and southern plains, but we're going to see more mid-level energy coming out, and the result is that you've got a torcon that is at a 5 out of 10. That's a 50% chance of a tornado in a 50-mile radius there, northwest Texas and western Oklahoma. And then it's going to get even busier, we think, going into the weekend. So we're watching this big upper low right here. It's a very powerful system, and it's going to come around through the southwest and then come out and into the plains. In fact, here's a model representation of that. And as it does so, we're going to see a lot of lift in the atmosphere, and that's really critical. That's a big part of what creates widespread severe weather. On top of that, there's going to be more than enough warm and humid air, so a lot of buoyant energy in the lower levels of the atmosphere, and we're also going to see very strong winds coming out. They'll be moving out of the southwest, just like this, while winds at the surface will be coming out of the south and southeast. So a lot of turning of the wind with height, and when you have that, that creates a rotation in the atmosphere, which can then be tilted into the vertical, and that's how we get rotating storms. That's going to be the worry on Saturday, and in fact, we could be talking about long track storms, long track tornadoes, and possibly damaging tornadoes here coming up on Saturday. It is a 6 out of 10 on the torcon in central Oklahoma as well as in central Kansas. Very busy day in these areas, and we urge you to stay tuned to the Weather Channel or any weather outlet to make sure that you know what is going on that day. And then on Sunday, you've got more severe storms. Still a very energetic atmosphere and still potential for tornadoes. Torcon of 5 out of 10, central northeast Texas, and then moving off to the north here, 3 out of 10 right around Joplin along that 44 corridor, and then to the north of that, it is a 5 out of 10 in central and eastern Iowa. So it's going to be multi-day severe weather event here, continuing tonight and then going through the next few days, and we are talking about the potential, especially Saturday and Sunday, for damaging storms, even long track tornadoes and violent tornadoes possible, we think, on Saturday in particular. All right, we're going to have much more on severe weather coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll get back into Dallas and Fort Worth and check on the storms there. Latest warning, severe thunderstorm warning for Texas County in Oklahoma. We'll have that for you coming up.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 69. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Friday, sunny along with a few afternoon clouds. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 90. Friday night, a mostly clear sky. Low 69. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Mayday, Mayday, this is Sunshine, Charles, Carnival. We have pink here. This is Mayday, Mayday.